I am Great Mother, Holy Spirit, Yin, Divine Mother, Cosmic Womb, Deep Space, the Moon, Dark Matter, the Void, the Black Hole, Atar.
How is Mama Drama trauma different from other traumas? Trauma is a soul disassociation caused by an extreme experience of abandonment and/or abuse. The resulting trauma is perceived as an ever-present pain body triggered by external stimuli, such as a memory, a person, or situation. As these activating factors are unavoidable, traumatized individuals self-medicate through addictions to chemical and mind-altering substances in an attempt to silence the stimuli and avoid the pain. MDT is different from other traumatic disorders because it is the mother of all trauma. For more information about Mama Drama Trauma, visit mamadramatrauma.info. Welcome, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Moon people. This is a new spread for those of you who have been tuning in to Great Mother Speaks messages. Of course, Great Mother is the Holy Spirit, our still small voice, our intuition. We connect with her through the lunar symbology of our astrological Western, Earth-centric, egocentric moon sign. For you, Sagittarius, and for most of you, that's Scorpio in the sidereal, the soul astrology, the intuitive astrology. That astrology which talks about the lifetime of our soul. And of course, the birth chart is a snapshot of our soul evolution at the time of birth and the blueprint that is set up for us to grow and evolve through the 12 houses. And so we go through the 12 houses through the planets, and right now we have Mercury and Venus conjunct in Pisces. So in the Western, this is a Pisces Aries cusp new moon. Great Mother works energetically with what's happening at the time of her messages. The moon is in Aquarius, and so for you, this has to do with the nakshatra Pura Agrabad. And Pura Agrabad is ruled by Jupiter, which is in your 12th house, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Moon people. 12th house energy is indicative of the end of a soul evolutionary cycle. You've gone through those 12 astrological houses in one way or another, and Jupiter is in your 12th house. And so you've gone through Aries all the way through, figuratively, to Pisces. But for you, since your first house and your lunar energy, where the moon was when you were born, that snapshot in Scorpio, Sagittarius, is now in your 12th house, because in the sidereal, Jupiter is in Libra, and in the West, it is in Scorpio. So that energy is abundant. It is expansive. It is very benefic for whatever you have going on there. And 12th house energy is very integrative energy, because it is taking a beat to integrate what has been learned through those astrological cycles and through your evolutionary will. And that's why it's associated with isolation, alienation, imprisonment, hospitalization, because those situations render us the time and space we do need to integrate experience from a whole wheel of life. So let's see what Great Mother is speaking into your life as you develop your game plan moving into this lunar cycle of Pisces, Aries, cusp in the West, Aquarius in the sidereal. Not to tell you what to do, and certainly not to tell you how to do your life, but to reveal and help you recognize how it is unfolding for you at this time. Now, it looks like you are at a place where this integration of this energy, which is 4th, 5th house energy for you, is causing, let's see, what is Great Mother saying? Sometimes we don't know that we're free when we've been in prison for a long time. That's what I'm picking up. Speaking of imprisonment and 12th house energy, Jupiter amplifying that. Sometimes we don't know that we are free when we've been in prison for a long time. That's what's coming through for you. Sagittarius energy is ruled by the second chakra as well as Pisces energy. So this Pisces energy is coming through very strongly for you with this Jupiterian aspect. Jupiter rules Pisces in the sidereal, but of course, since the Pisces in the west is ruled by Neptune, nonetheless, there's an amplification of what you desire. There's something about, there's a desire that you have at this time that you feel is being thwarted because you're blocked, you're imprisoned, you are unable to take advantage of the offering available for you. Let me check something here. Okay. You've recently been consciously on this road of integrating lessons from this previous evolutionary cycle. So, for example, you have not consciously known that this is where you are necessarily, but isn't it auspicious that we're coming up on the equinox and you're receiving this reading, whether you're in the northern or the southern hemisphere, whether you're harvesting or whether you're planting? With this moon and with these cards, what she is saying is that you've recently realized that something is going on. You've been downloading the fact that you are on a journey and that you are moving forward in many aspects in your life, but you've been putting a good face on about it. It's not something that you've been like, whoopee, jumping up and down about. It's been something that you've just had to do. You know, you just had to do it, and you intuited that you really don't have a choice. Okay, and that's kind of how it goes with all of us, which is why this soul and this inner work is so difficult, and it's easier just to focus on the sun. It's easier just to go ahead and focus on, you know, the sun is inspired, is activated by lunar energies, and so it's easier just to look at the end result instead of the impetus, because the impetus recently for this new moon phase, Scorpio, Sagittarius moon people, is that you are at a crossroads. Most of you have been at a crossroads for a long time, and you are still standing there. You know that it's time to move. You know that the journey of your wheelhouse has come to an end as it relates to all that you can get from your previous phase. That's what Jupiter is about. It's about amplification. Jupiter is about being able to really establish a firm foundation, a healthy foundation in your life. That's why it's usually associated with, you know, bringing abundance, material abundance, and things that, you know, so that you can focus on your desires. And that's what Great Mother came through, and she said that you feel that you're not able to do that right now because you've been in prison for a while. And so what is that about? You feel that you have to do and be what other people want you to do and be in order for your needs to be met. The Ankh in this deck symbolizes the second chakra, and so you feel that you have to do what they want you to do. And this second chakra, again, coming up, ruled by Jupiter, which rules the constellations of Sagittarius and Pisces. And so this is very strong for you right now, this energy of feeling blocked, of feeling put upon, of feeling like you're not able to fully realize who you are and what you have to offer. And it's not always because you're being exploited out of ignorance. Prostitution also has to do with the ignorance of others. I remember back in the day, old women used to say, older worldly women would say, whenever the conversation came up as a young girl, about how to present yourself as a woman, a lot of them say, well, hey, you can talk about loose women, and you can talk about, young girls who do this and do that and are promiscuous and fast, but you got to remember, she can give it away, but that don't mean somebody can take it, and so that's what you need to know, Scorpio, Sagittarius moon people. You need to know that you can you can move on. This Pisces Aquarius moon is in your 4th and 5th houses, well into your next evolutionary cycle. But it's at home. That 4th house energy is dealing with your mother. It's dealing with your motherhood abilities and capabilities and emotions surrounding that, and your roots, your maternal roots. It's dealing with, how you express those, and maybe how you were creating those. Maybe you're trying to get pregnant. Maybe you are pregnant. Maybe you are wanting to enjoy motherhood more. You're not enjoying it as much as you want to, and it's all because of this mental space of being blocked and feeling that if you try to step beyond this blockage, if you make a decision to say, okay, I'm going to just do what I want to do, that something negative will happen. There's some fear there, and the source of it is your disconnect with your soul. And our soul is that spark of God. We are all divine children of the Great Mother, Father God. These cards, Great Mother Speaks Oracle deck, is based on the 49 sins of the Wizard of Oz, and gods and goddesses, these archetypes which we are these universal energetic expressions of Great Mother, Father God. And those that we remember, Moses, Ishtar, Pachamama, Sekhmet, Hecate, those that are recalled throughout history are those who were able to heal that ego-soul divide by aligning. That's why these archetypes are eternal, because they honor the eternal truth of our divinity. And so as divine children of the Great Mother, Father God, we're never judged or condemned or left alone. When we forget that, we are blocked. Our chakras are not functioning at full throttle. You may be having some issues, Scorpio, Pisces moon people, with your feet, maybe bunions or corns, or your lymphatic system, in fact, might be blocked. You might be having some toxicity issues as a result of addictions, or diet, or that you've had a cold. This flu season may have been particularly challenging for you, or your hips. You might have liver issues, again, perhaps if there's alcoholism involved. Your sciatica, thighs, upper legs, this area where this foundation, this Jupiter foundation, is expressed in the body as those feet, hip areas, ankle areas. Root chakra is ankle, that's Aquarius, but that's where we have here, root chakra. And you're feeling ungrounded as a result of this blockage, Scorpio, Sagittarius moon people. And so you're kind of dancing with your personal power. You're kind of dancing with, okay, so should I stay or should I go now? Gut chakra, waxing gibbous moon phase. Waxing gibbous is refining, editing, revising. Gut chakra is that visceral, instinctive reaction. It's survival instinct is the gut chakra. And the antenna that you see here connects to the third eye. So that's the ego soul alignment when those are working together, when we're not just living on our visceral, instinctual survival impulses, but we align that with our higher needs. And so that's where you're kind of stuck right now along your yellow brick road, Scorpio, Sagittarius moon people. And so that's what Great Mother is saying to you right now. And so the opportunity for you in terms of the preventative medicine of using this Jupiter energy to expand that block, instead using the Jupiterian energy in your 12th house to expand your insight, to enlighten the integrative process of what you've learned from your previous evolutionary wheel, which is how to face challenges. You've gone through a lot. Don't forget the lessons that you've learned in the process, Scorpio, Sagittarius moon people. You've learned how to be creative. You've learned how to better mother. And you've learned how to be better mothered, either by self-mothering, taking care of yourself in ways that you haven't been taken care of in the past. Maybe you've taken advantage of spas and retreats and things of that nature. And she's reminding you of that. And she's saying that, yes, you have, through your previous evolutionary wheel, you have faced some challenges. And you have been able to see the truth of some things that you didn't want to see before. But you have your big girl pants on now. And you can handle it. Why are you recoiling back into fear? First quarter moon is about taking actions based on decisions made to face a challenge. And so you have first quarter energy in your gut and your throat chakra. And so in your gut, you're feeling this fear, which is okay to feel. But she's saying that, why? Why? You've overcome what you are facing now and more. You're just fearing the unknown. And this card is when Dorothy is in the witch's castle and she sees Aunt Em in the crystal ball. And Aunt Em is calling for her. And she's saying, Aunt Em, I'm coming home. I'll be home. I'm coming home. But Aunt Em doesn't hear her. Just because people don't hear you, Scorpio, Sagittarius moon people, and they may not fully appreciate where you are right now, you don't need their 2 cents to make your decision about moving forward. Go ahead and plant your seed. That's crescent moon energy. Go ahead and support yourself. Believe yourself that you know where you're going. You don't need them to do that. This is the scene when, right before she sees Aunt Em in the crystal ball, that the wicked witch is trying to steal her ruby red slippers, which symbolize her birthright, health, happiness, and wholeness, and gets shocked. So they don't have the power to take your health, happiness, and wholeness, and they don't have the power to decide what your birthright is going to be or not. You know, she was right. She was coming home regardless. And so you're home regardless is what Great Mother is saying. You are home. You are not imprisoned. Home to you may feel like a prison because of your maternal experiences in the past. Because of when you have expressed your creativity in the past, maybe you've done that in isolation. Maybe you haven't allowed other people to see because you have been so reliant on their buy-in. When she gets shocked, it's only after Dorothy tells her, go ahead and take the shoes, but give me Toto. So she was willing to allow her to take the shoes that Great Mother told her never to take off to keep her intuition. You don't have to sell out your intuition, Scorpio, Sagittarius moon people, in order for your material needs to be met. You don't have to sell yourself out for the approval of others. This is a full moon second chakra card when Dorothy runs back to the farm after running away and gets caught up in the twister dream. That's what you are. You're caught up. And that's why you're not able to pursue your desires. You're caught up in this whole idea that of what other people think your value is, as opposed to you owning what your value is. I'm coming home regardless. I'm coming home and speaking and expressing that truth, because the fact of the matter is, the capital T of the matter is, the truth is, you are home. This is the Emancipation card. It's a balsamic moon card that, again, rest, relaxation, that recuperation from the evolutionary journey, integrating what you've learned, knowing that there's no place like home. There's no place like home. You face the challenges to return, and you are home. You made it. Take a breath. You're not on the wheel anymore. But like she said in opening, sometimes when we've been in prison for a long time, we don't know that we're free. And that's what she's telling you. You're free. You're free. Scorpio, Sagittarius, Moon people. Yay! You're free. You're good. You can proceed. Wellness, heart chakra, full moon card. Oh yeah, you definitely want to look at that total lunar eclipse video that went up in February. You've got some full moon cards, so you get heart chakra cards. Okay, whoops, drop that card. Oops, oh well. This is when Dorothy and the three go before Oz to request their wishes, not realizing that they already have everything that they're asking for at the time. And that's what you don't realize, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Moon people. You don't realize that you're already free. Let me get that card. You don't realize that. But in a way you do. And that's why that card dropped. Because she wants me to pick that up and tell you, yeah, you know you're free. You know it. You just need to let go of anything in your life right now, in your home environment, in your maternal relationships, or how you do maternal relationships, how you're mothered, how you are mothering. Maybe for you that means you're a manager in a business. Maybe for you that means that you are an agent for artists, or a some type of facilitator for a group of people, project manager. But how you mother and how you are being mothered is being called up into question as it relates to you accepting your wellness and your freedom now. So anything and anyone that makes you feel less than free to be and pursue your wants and desires the way you know them to be best and highest and in your highest good for you, they need to be reevaluated. Excuse me, so that you can move on. You don't have to be stuck. You have what it takes. Great Mother's saying that, in fact, you need to just leave the situation at this point, because it's just dead energy. Pachamama is the dead energy card. This is when Dorothy leaves the farm. Root chakra, waning gibbous moon card. It's sharing and thanksgiving. She was very thankful that Toto had come back after Miss Gulch had taken him, and so she wasn't going to let that happen again. Aren't you thankful that you're watching this reading and that Great Mother has confirmed in the heart of your reading that you are free? Leave whatever's holding you back. And for you, it might not necessarily mean running away as Dorothy has run away, but she has down here, you know, Earth Mother, the trees, the flowers, the seas, the fairies, connecting with Great Mother energy. Maybe you need a retreat again. Maybe you need a 3-day vacation. Maybe you need a 10-day vacation. Maybe you need a leave of absence for you to activate what I call in my practice loving detachment. That's what I specialize in. I specialize in supporting people to take the time they need to live in loving detachment in relationship to people and to things without an attachment to the outcome. This is what is necessary in order to heal mama drama trauma, my field of specialization in inner work life coaching. She's saying that if you follow this guidance, which is basically just a confirmation of what you already know. Little secret. Great Mother Speaks readings always are. They give us clarity, balance, and confirmation of us learning to live the law. And the law is Great Father Logos, the word in this material world, because it's the materialized form of divine order is the law. But it's gut chakra oriented because it has to do with material survival, which is important. We have to get along with one another to survive in this world, as we are noticing now. But again, as this antenna connects to that third eye energy, we find that sometimes we can be acknowledged in ways that we don't realize for the gifts and talents and abilities that we have, which is indicated by the Moses card. So in this scene, Dorothy is being awarded by the mayor of Munchkinland for destroying the Wicked Witch of the West. And she's dismayed. Being Dorothy from Kansas, why are these little people so happy about me killing somebody? This is terrible. Well, what Great Mother is saying is that as you integrate the lessons of your previous wheel cycle, you're going to see how appreciated you really are. But in order for you to do that, you do need to take some time away to garner the loving detachment that you need. See, you're still looking at things, you're still attached to how people are around you based on how you knew them in the past. And even here, when Dorothy saw Aunt Em in the crystal ball, she was still thinking of her as she did in the past. She still had a way to go for her journey, didn't she? She hadn't gotten the broom yet before she could actually return home with some insight. And that's what you need to do. You still are with this Pisces, Aries, new moon in a place where you can reground yourself by just taking a beat, taking a breather and being thankful for where you are right now, which is home, which is free. But because you don't see that, you need a little time to align the ego soul. That's learning to live the law. The law is aligning that instinctual self with your higher self. So your higher self, which is the crossroads of the ego and the soul, the heart chakra, is there, but it's not really activated in a real practical way in your body mind, your lower self. Your higher self gets it. See, your higher self gets this feeling of blockness at the crossroads. Okay, your higher self gets that you are facing a challenge and that there are some things in the past that you really do value and you want to return to, and you do see anew. Like Dorothy said, I'll be home, even though she ran away. She really wanted to go back home. And so it's not that you want to leave out of rage. There are just some fears that need to be assuaged. And in order to do that, you need the time and the space to do that, just like Dorothy did when the Twister came along. This is the Twister Dream card. And if you try to return to those relationships, those situations before you are ready, of course, you will continue to be blocked with this fear. But this is unnecessary. With this Aquarius sidereal moon energy, which is in Pura Adrabad. It's a very intelligent energy. It's a very benefic energy. It's impactful upon others because it can integrate a lot of information. It's a great researcher. And you need to, as Dorothy did in the Twister Dream, kind of allow your imagination to expand. Pura Adrabad, remember, is ruled by Jupiter, and you have this Jupiter in your 12th house. Use the energy and refocus that energy in a way that you can download what Great Mother is wanting to say to you in your own way with regard to your own personal situation. I'd love to do a personal reading for Scorpio, Sagittarius, Moon people right now, because she's really wanting to allow you to connect with your personal desires in a more genuine way right now, and that's my specialty. This card has to do with primordial mother energies, that black hole from which we all emerge, from which our souls come. That's where the spark of God emanates from and travels through the cosmos and crystallizes into this physical form through helium and hydrogen and everything else. We're made of the stars. Okay, we are elementally the same as the stars that we speak of here. And so through your dreams, through downloading your intuition in a more active manner, you're going to get the specific guidance and information that you need, just as Dorothy did in her Twister Dream. She got some signs and symbols, some images in that dream that told her that she was going to be fighting that terrible mother. She was going to deal with Mama Drama Trauma, which is why she's the poster child of Mama Drama Trauma. And to heal it, we do come home to ourselves through loving detachment. For you, this is bringing up issues of rage. Now, she's saying that it doesn't have to, if you deal with these triggers as it relates to other people not necessarily supporting your newfound wisdom from your evolutionary journey. But if you continue on the path that you are, the suppressed anger will rear its head when it's triggered in the most inappropriate times, because you'll feel ungrounded. This is a root chakra, waxing gibbous moon card. So if you want to kind of test the Great Mother Speaks reading, see during the waxing moon, right before the full moon, how you're feeling. You know, is the angst, the inertia at the crossroads intensifying before the full moon, before this Libra full moon that's coming up? Are you feeling more ungrounded? She's saying that's very possible for you. And another possibility in the long term, as a result of that, could be you kind of questioning, you know, what is it all about, Alfie? You know, okay, I do have this inner wisdom, okay, but I do have, you know, some real practical issues in terms of how I live my life, and I'm just going to kind of teeter on, you know, this kind of back and forth. I'm going to be on the ropes, I'm going to be on the fence. Well, either you're going to avoid and deny the awakening that you've had since your previous evolutionary cycle, the challenges that you faced, and continue to and reconstitute yourself, refresh yourself to go even higher and even deeper into your strengths, going strength to strength, or you're going to deny the awakening, the seeing beyond the veil that you have been able to do. Because if you don't take the time to realize that you're free and to really evaluate that, then the next full moon period, you know, you'll be right back where you started, in other words, which is okay. We have lifetimes. We have many skulls in the ground. This would be just another one. There's no rush. But that's kind of, you know, the axes of this gut chakra energy. It's kind of, okay, am I going to trust my gut in its kind of fearful sense of how it connects to my groundedness, to my tribe, and I just have to stay connected to that at all costs, and my safety and security? Or am I going to connect to my gut chakra in a way that allows me to learn more about how I live this law of ego soul alignment. I know that I've come through a lot and I've given up a lot to even be at this point. Now I might have to give up more, but I'm coming home. In fact, what Great Mother's telling me now is that I'm already home. So based on that decision, there will be either an awakening that invites you to come back to the circle, as we can, or an awakening that activates something in you to go ahead and choose a direction on your path in moving forward. Now, this Pisces Aries new moon sign, because the outcome for doing that is the experience of Jesus energy, that yin energy, of that heart chakra energy, that alignment of the ego soul energy, which is ruled by Venus, that is conjunct Mercury and Pisces this new moon. Now, what you want to see here with this Great Father Law card is that it is the law of soul guidance and guardian. The four along the yellow brick road that traveled along with Dorothy were part of her soul group. So whoever is creating challenges for you to accept your inner wisdom, they are helping you to grow stronger in your inner wisdom, as we found with the archetypes of the scarecrow, the brain, the tin man, the heart, and the courage, the lion, were aspects that Dorothy needed to integrate. They assisted her with that. And although it's not always a joyous process, as Dorothy also found out with the witch, we do have to take our own power back, which is what the broom represented. And we're guided and guarded all along the way by trusting in our divinity, our innocence, our guidance and guardianship along the way. We do realize that we truly are free. Thank you so much for watching, sharing, and liking. But above all and most of all, Scorpio moon people, remember, Great Mother loves you, and I do too.